Hello Forest Cresters, it's been another gorgeous week weather-wise for doing activities in the garden. So today I thought I'd show you 3 simple ideas that you can do in your back garden with your brothers and sisters or with your mums and dads. First little activity is a guessing game. I have got an old tissue box here, but you could use any box or a flower pot or a bag of any kind. You can decorate it if you want to, paint, put on leaves or things that you find in the garden. And inside I'm going to put some natural objects. I've got a shell, beech nut, pine cone and a few other little bits and bobs I'm just going to pop in. Give them a little shake, and then I'm going to ask Emily to come along, put her hand inside, feel an object and see if she can identify what it is. So what do you think you've got, Emily?
It's a shell.
Have a look. Brilliant. Now the other way you can play this game is to have your mum and dad or your brother and sister come, put their hand inside, find an object and then describe it for you to guess. So this object is quite bobbly, a little bit sharp and kind of an oval in shape. I think it might be made of wood. Can you guess what it is? A pine cone. That's activity number 1. The second little game I've got, or challenge, is a collecting game. Now for this one you need a small container. Could be an egg cup, could be a lid, could be a yogurt pot, but I'm going to use an egg cup. And my challenge is, how many different things can you find in your garden to put inside your egg cup? The winner is the one that has the most in, but you can only have one of each object. So I've cheated a little bit and had a little go. And in my garden, this is my full egg cup, I found all these things. There we go. So in my egg cup I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 items, and there was still room for more. I wonder if you can beat that. I've got berries, dandelions, pebbles, grass, green leaf and all kinds of other objects. If it was wet, you could play this game inside, collecting things from different rooms in your house. Let me know how many you do and whether you get more than 12. Now my last little game involves some careful observation skills. We've done touch, we've done collecting. This one I need you to look. I have drawn my own bingo card. If you're playing with your mums and dads or your brothers and sisters, they can draw theirs too. And I'm sure your pictures will be much better than mine. I have got insects or creatures that I might find in my garden with a spider's web. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit very, very quietly and just watch. And each time I see one of my creatures, I'm going to put a counter on it. I'm using milk bottle tops as counters. So if I was sitting here and saw a butterfly, I would put a counter on my butterfly. Now some of my things are not going to fly past me. I'm not going to see a worm without getting up and having a little look for it, or a spider's web. So again, very quietly, walk around your garden, have a good look, and if you see your creature, put another lid on top. And the winner is the person that covers all their squares up first. I hope you enjoyed those games, children. If you've got any ideas, let us know. We'd love to hear all about what you're up to, and have a great time in your gardens. See you next week.
This week we thought we'd have a little look around our garden to see what sort of bugs we can find. I'm going to show you some of the places where you might find them, and perhaps you can have a look around your garden and see what you can find, and maybe send us some photos of anything weird that you find. So come on, let's have a little look around. Okay, so one really good place to find bugs is under logs, if you're lucky enough to have one in your garden, and who doesn't? So what we're going to do is just tip this up and see what we find. So first of all, we need to be really careful, because as you can see, there are plenty of bugs under here. We've got millipedes and centipedes and lots of woodlice, a slug. So this one here is a millipede. It's got more legs than a centipede and it's black and somewhat circular. And this one here is a centipede. You can see it crawling over my hand. It goes quite quickly and it tends to eat other insects. Lots of worms. Yeah, that's about all we're going to find under here. So what we do need to do is make sure that when we've moved anything, we put it back where we found it. But of course you do need to be careful of the creatures that are living underneath. So we're just going to place this back where it was, nice and gently, so we don't squish anybody. There we go. You'll notice that bugs do quite enjoy living in dark, damp places. That is where you're going to find a lot of the creatures. So here's another good spot that bugs might live, underneath a fairly large flower pot. Luckily there's no flowers in it, so I'll just tip it up and see what we can find. Wow, look at all the life living under there. Lots of woodlice, a slug, and look at this, beetle crawling across there. So here I've got a water trough, which I've used for various bushcraft things, for soaking things in, but bees just love water. They need lots and lots of water, and they'll come for quite some distance to get water. And of course we must encourage bees, really good for the environment. So here we've got lots of plants, nice flowers, which of course attract the insects. So do come and have a good look at the flowers in your garden, see if you can see any insects living in or going inside the flowers looking for pollen, bees in particular. Let's just have a little look around what we can find. So we've got creatures up here, and here we found a spider and a female orange-tipped butterfly. And look at this, a shield bug. It's really well camouflaged. It's basically a beetle. Look how it flies away, opens up its shell, and away it goes. Good, let's see what else we can find. Here we've got some ants running down the leaf, and a hoverfly. Oh, here's a bumblebee. So we've had a good look around the garden and we found quite a few bugs. Do have a look around your garden, see what you can find, and we do want to know what they were. So I've got a good book here. You may have one, or you can look on the internet, try and work out what sort of bugs you've got and if you can identify what they are, and let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So that's it for another week. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next week.